And I am live! Yes, hello, hello, hello! I am back again with my undead. And of course, why should everything go perfectly well? My mind is never really working perfectly, especially not my things concerning my memory. I had my meal and I cleaned up my room a little bit. And then I had something like, oh yeah, I need to prime some minis. And if you were looking at the internet, I have primed them. Yes, I have. So you can see that, and that one not really as clean and clear as the other ones. And I'm gonna sit here to enjoy my usual cup of coffee. Put it down, and I see a mini that is not painted yet, not even primed. So this little dude was completely blank metal. So I took the last 3 minutes to prime him. Luckily this primer is quick drying. Sorry, but I do need to do these a little bit more. This is, by the way, the surface primer from Vallejo and hay called Skeleton Bone. So ideal for this job. In fact, I do not really have to do the whole armor again, as the armor will probably be more silverish, rust silverish, rustic silverish. As well, they are a little bit undead, and probably the whole armor is also a little bit old and not well kept and that kind of stuff. So yeah, but I did prime them. I managed it. Yay! Now only the last thing that I had, of course, with the last few minis, there were a few slight problems with the airflow. I'm absolutely no expert with an airbrush. I do know where the paint has to go in, where the thinner has to go in, about what amount of thinner, that kind of stuff. I know I have to clean it afterwards, how to clean it, and do a quick clean and a thorough clean. That's all no problem. But using it is a little bit something different. Because I do know how to get the paint somewhere where I want it. And I always thought that's because I have a, what's it? 3.5 millimeter, no, it's not 3.5 millimeter, oh no. It's 3.5, whatever they call it, 3.5 millimeter. No, even smaller than that. The standard big hole for a, and I say big, as this is the airbrush with the largest air needle, the needle that they sell at where I buy them. You can see in the workshop. I also have one that is, this is, I have no idea what the exact measurement entails. I believe it is, no, it's smaller than, a lot smaller than a millimeter, a lot smaller. But the other one is, I believe it's 0.0, 3.5, and then the smallest I have is 0.1.5, I guess. Anywho, that's the smallest, and even with that one, I can do certainly some airbrush work, but if sometimes I see people using it, and it's a learning curve, and I don't grant myself the time to learn. So yeah, I'm just winging it. Which is good, because there are quite some wings to do here today. I I'm not really sure if I will be able to do all of them. I used to be a quite a quick painter in the old days. I am not so quick, not because I'm older, but yeah, I want to get a little bit more out of it. Not only just the tabletop quality, but a little bit extra. And I see I have Mr. Death is... some spots are not completely as they should be. I am going to paint him over with black anyway, so as long as I have a little bit of this paint left, which is also a primer, different primer than I used for the black, but that should not be any should not have any weird consequences, as it is all acrylic. Where did I see more, especially in the... If I had have missed a oh, there on the top of his hood, and there we go. Those were the shiny spots that I could see, that there were still some parts metal. We don't want that. Now see, nice and filthy, but as I said, I will go over it with a other black paint anyway. When I started with the airbrushing, I immediately grabbed my black, my standard black surface primer, mixed it in the mixing pot, poured it in the airbrush, and then I realized these are all undead, these are all skeletons. If I use black, I will have to let that dry and then paint again over it. So that's a little bit, the only one that is really going to be black is this one. And I guess that these will also have quite a nicer dark color, as this is a vampire lord on a living nightmare. At least he is going to sit on the living nightmare. He's nice and wobbly. As soon as the paint is dry, I will reattach him with the blue tack. This one is a little bit sturdy. Yeah. And well, I thought I had seen a name. This one goes on the big dragon, on the undead dragon, and is a white zombie dragon. I did not note that down. Zombie dragon rider is a white. Good to know. Meanwhile, I did base all the bases. I also put the dragon on a different base, and the winged nightmare. I always keep saying it a living nightmare, but it is a winged nightmare. And these were the first ones that I did airbrush, and they look good. Oh, I see some. Oh. Nope, I do see some. Here you can, I guess you can see now, there's still a little of the old paint that you can see. I'll take this as an example. The base itself, it's a 3D printed base from across the realms. I have quite some STL files in different formats. I believe this is 100. Yeah, I guess this is a yeah. I did. This is a 100mm base. I thought that was a little bit more appropriate for this mini, as the mini did have quite a small base, a small square base. And the Nightmare did also have an even smaller square base, so I put that one also on a bigger base from the same makers. I did magnetize them immediately, as I normally do nowadays. Put some PVA glue on it. Started with the big rocks first, put them in, then the slightly larger, smaller rocks, and then a mixture of very fine and medium fine sand. That makes it a little bit, yeah, especially with if you only use sand, it's no problem, but it's not really realistic unless you have really a battleground that you say you have to put them on that has exactly only one kind of. I mean, if you would put this in the desert, if you make them Camry, you can use very fine sand everywhere almost. But okay, this is just my choice. I will make the sand quite dark, probably brown, and then highlight with a lighter brown and maybe even a grey. Good, so I have a lot to do. I will start with the mummies, as those are the most easy to do. They are also based with PVA glue, a few bigger rocks and a few smaller rocks. As I just said, I could have gotten rid of the bigger rocks, or not used them on them, but nah, I thought why not. I am not going to make units out of these. So also I have six knights, undead knights on horses. They are officially, I believe, even black knights. I still have a set, well, not a full set, but I have a box with some of these still in my No, I don't have them in my collection anymore, as I sold them back to the previous owner. I did tell that before, but I did LARP. While I'm talking, let's keep painting a little bit. On the dragon, for example. I've been LARPing for 10 years, then I did stop because of things because of my work. It was quite difficult to get the weekends, to get the Mondays and Fridays off. A lot of problems there, so I did quit LARPing, and then acquaintance, somebody I know that said, hey, you are LARPing and we want to start, but yeah, it costs a lot. So yeah, that's indeed, but I still have stuff and I am quitting with LARPing, so maybe we can make a deal. And he traded his undead army and now I have to think, it was this undead army. So there was almost all vampire accounts with a little bit of Camry in it, just for a little bit of flavor. He told me. Some of it was painted, some of it was put together and primed, and some of it was still in the box. I myself did have quite some vampire accounts too. Wait, didn't I keep my own vampire account stuff? Yeah, I did keep my own vampire account stuff, so I should still have some of those knights. Now I realize, I should check that out. Not that I have, not that I really mind, but then he has struck a really good bargain. And I now know he did have a second army, and those were the Chaos Knights. Chaos Dwarves. Some army that they once brought out and after that never returned. And later editions, but the minis looked really cool. And so yeah, that's what we traded for my LARP stuff. And then a year ago, COVID was more or less done. So he contacted me and said, Roy, I am really tempted to get back into Warhammer, as also maybe they bring Warhammer back, and there are some people at the club that playing with the old rules. I mean, why not? You can always, even if they bring out a new rule set, you can always use the old rules. Why not? As long as you're not making it an official GW tournament. So yeah. Anyway, long story short, he bought the two armies back. I kept what I was sure that was mine, so I should still have some boxes left. I will have to look into that in a moment, after the stream. Next week, whatever. But, yeah, good. Painting. That was the I hope, last. I will keep my surface primer over here. There is quite some bow. I can also, no. What I am going to do, I am taking this one and the Agrax Earthshade. This is the new one. The old one is completely done. This is the wash from Games Workshop. And I have the Battle Mud Wash from Duncan Rhodes. That is, it has a hint of green in it. It's not really brown. You can see the Agrax Earthshade is really brown. So this is what I'm going to use for all the bone parts, most of them. And this is what I'm going to use for my mummies, as they have a little bit of bone, but more like decayed flesh. So I am going to cover these completely in Duncan Rhodes Battle Mud Wash. Just nicely like that. Up. The one thing that I am going to be careful about is pooling. So like here on the legs, as it, hey, we have something like gravity. Mr. Newton, yeah, one time I always am very thankful you invented it. But there are times that this is a new stream, sorry, I will get my numbers right. No, I'm talking about gravity. Totally forgot, but no problem. The numbers will probably go up. Oh no, I'm jinxing it. Yes, you are. Now, because this is not completely brown, I think this is a really nice color for the linen of the mummies. This one has a helmet, but oh, let's just go over it into completely. I will try to give them all the fleshy parts a grayish green look. Where's that? I think that is quite a nice look for the mummy. Dry it out under the sand, but that's after the wash is dry. Like that. Watch out for pooling. I will give them a when this is dry, I will give them a dry brush. And a dry brush with what is my not only mine but also Goblin Squire's most favorite Terminator stone or Terminator stone, Terminator stone. Dry brush. Now this is what we did use for the linen. For the bones we are going to use the Agrax Earthshade. Quite a little bit on my in my well palette. I will start with I will start with the undead ox, same as with the whole undead mummies. And don't correct me, mummies are not always undead, so that's not something that I can say it that way. Just get it all in the right places, meaning all in the joints, in the right now if I get something on the card I don't mind. Although my finger does have bones in it, but it's not all bones, come on. The wheels are made out of bones. For the wood I will use a different color. This could be this is a great color. If you use a lighter color for wood and you use this wash over wood, then you already get indeed a very nice wood grain out of it. But as I am using this for the bones, and wood and bone are quite a little bit different, so I do not want to use the same wash or the same base color. So I will repaint the wood in a slightly darker color when this is all dry. But this is indeed the magic weapon of every mini painter that wants some minis quickly on the table. Just give it something, a base color, put a nice wash over it, and look, we already have tons of detail coming out of the mini. Let it dry. We do have a nice, now I have to think, because the Oldhammer I will paint certainly metallic and then put a rust over it, a rust effect. But all the cloth I will do in different shades, which means, let's put them over here. They all, as I said, I am not going to make them into a unit. So I will, if I imagine movies where all the undead are rising, then they do rise up from all kinds of graves, all kinds of eras. So they will not always have the same colors on them. Also, if you do that on an ancient battlefield where nobody was buried and just left alone, and the necromancer says rise, you get all the old enemies, and together they have different clothes, different colors. So I am just putting some different colors on all of these models for cloth. And the shields will probably be different. Why am I painting those first? Because I can use my wash to filthy them down. If you are as cheap as I am, because I'm Dutch, nice thing about dropper bottles, if you have too much wash on in your well palette, you can just suck it up back in your bottle and save it for later. That was at least half of a mini worth. Do I have something else that I want to use the... Yeah, I am... because I still have a little bit... just let it dry out. I will paint all the cloth. Let's take a good brush, but a big one. Let's see and let's start. I had an idea about this is more like a, yeah, it's not really a peasant as it does have armor on, but yeah, with that hood I keep that one simple and use a medium gray. Then I am even another reason why I did use the bones color for these miniatures, because some of them were already green. Come on. Some of these were already primed black, and if I put a white over that, it will take quite some layers to cover the whole black in white. Thus, if you use a more yellow brownish color, and well, bone color is a more of a beige, which is something like a yellowish light brown color in my my color theory. Is that also? Yeah, let's make it. Is his bones coming out of there? No, let's just make it all gray. Keep it simple today. So by using that to cover the black, it's not completely covering, but good enough. If I want to paint something white now, I can certainly do it without having to paint extra layers over it. The thing is that I am now with the wash, I could just go hit the whole model and I will paint over other parts later. Of course, with there's a little bit of a stray hair on the model. One moment. I have not. Don't talk with your mouth full. I have not painted this model yet, so that is probably a hair from the previous painter. Well, not a hair, probably not a hair from the painter itself, but from one of his brushes. Does also have a pants on. A pair of pants, sorry, it's English. It's one pair of pants. Oh, there's even some chainmail under there. Damn. So I see trousers. Chainmail is no problem. He probably also has something like a blouse or shirt under it. Well, the shirt we can make a little bit more light gray. And I already take my coal black. And that's for the Mr. the Grim Reaper that I am thinking of painting. So the shirt we make a very light gray, as I do not want to make it completely white. As at least in my opinion, if you use white as a base color and then go over it with a brown wash, it looks the wrong kind of filthy. It's a combination that I do not, that I say, nah, it's not, yeah. I cannot really explain it. So that is the shirt. And here's chainmail over there, and then the trousers. Let's see what's nice. Well, he's not wearing jeans, that's for sure. They probably will be faded, but I'm also going to use a brown wash over them. You know what, let's use, what is this nice brown? I'm already thinking about different colors already. This is oceanic blue from Reaper. Oh, yes, I am. This is a little bit of heresy maybe. Yay! Pokey tool. Like that. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, that was too much. Also, if you want, I can use it for some other minis. If you spill a little bit of paint, again, the same as with the wash, you have a little vacuum. Oh yeah, right. A little vacuum at hand, instead of that you have to scoop it all back into a pot. Now I can understand, you did have to use a pokey tool just yet, and you have something like, nah, I'm using a pot, so I don't need a pokey tool. You're right. And that's where we both are a little bit different, in a good way. I just like dropper bottles better, and if you like pots better, it's all up to you. I cannot see anything wrong with that, as long as you can respect my choice for the dropper bottles. What time is it? It's already 7 o'clock. Ooh, past 7. I will definitely stop at 9 o'clock. Because I have to get up at 4 tomorrow. don't look too close to it. I also now just see there is a lot of wood pieces in all of these things. So I should make them also, because it's good if I paint them also. Then the wash, I can use the wash for that too. So it's if you are painting undead, most of the time paint almost everything. Only you can use for the metal parts a brown wash. It's certainly no problem. Only a black wash in my eyes looks a little bit better. Let's see, which one will we give? I have two that look almost the same. Only one has rings on his helmet. This one does look now a little bit darky with just that strange. Okay, let's give this one also a brown. Yeah, how do you call this? Robe. Probably is not. As a robe is not really you put on for a battle, but yeah, well, maybe he thought it was some kind of a different kind of party. Anyhow, let's get it all nice and blue. I am not bothering with the inside of his thighs and everything. It's what I cannot reach. I will not be able to see later. That is one of the reasons why I normally start with a black primer, because everything after that I paint and is black is most of the time in shadow anyway. So the shadows of this is a little bit less dark, but those are small details. Did hit the scabbard of the sword. It's on his back. So that is all blue. Nice. Oh, let's make this one the Blue Knight. So he has some. Yeah, I cannot even call it clothes or shirt even more. There is something that looks like a sleeve from a shirt. Just here. Other arm, the same thing, only it's mostly behind the shield. Only his elbow is poking out. Now, what is all behind the shield is behind the shield. I will not bother with that. So that, oh, a little bit here on the front. If there are certain parts that I should have hit with the blue, those are probably deeper and next to bone anyway. If I put the wash over them, nobody will notice that I missed them. That's also one of the nice things of a wash. Now we can also see very nicely the difference between the two washes. This is still a little bit more, yeah, a more yellowish brown in color. This is the Duncan Rhodes wash, and yes, this is the standard, now standard Agrax Earthshade. A little bit is really brown, and that is exactly what I wanted, because these are linen and not bones. The next color will be red. What kind of, but I want a dark red, a nice very dark red. Nagash, where do you have my really far? That's more of a purple. I will use purple for certain. That is a lighter red, but I do have a dark. Yeah, I have a deep red from Scale Color, but I should also have a deep red from Reaper. Where are you hiding? Where are you hiding? This one, this did not use, yeah, the deep red. No, it's even not the deep red. The deep red is over there. I am missing one of my colors. Oh no! But I have cleaned those all out. And this is Orchid Purple, certainly not the one that I want. The mystery of the missing paint bottle. It happens. It happens. Yeah. Or am I? No, this heraldic red, exactly. What do we have here? Necromancer purple. Or you put it where it belongs, with the reds and not with the purples. Boy. Why are you hiding with the purples? You are red. The name does it already say. Deep red. So you have to go there. I think I will make two with the red color. Yeah, let's use this one. And this is the same mini that I just painted. Only this one has wings on his helmet. And this one has a back banner, at least a pole where I don't think I will place a banner on it. But I am thinking maybe even just let it as it is. For now at least. And maybe I will make some remnants of a flag on them, or of a banner. It's one of the weird things that I mean, for wargaming, it's important that you know what units are where, and that's so. If you give them flags, yes, I totally understand. And well, having a flag in your unit. Hey, thank you very much, James E1805. Thank you very much. And welcome. It's okay, yeah, no, that's certainly okay. Thank you very much. And again, welcome. I was already feeling a little bit like I am, as always, talking to myself. Now I am actually talking to someone. No, I don't sell them. Well, It's let's just say it is not usual for me that I sell them, and it depends a little bit on where you would like them for. I am not painting these up as a unit. So if it is just, yeah, I want a nice painted mini, then you can, there should be a, you can find me on Twitter and on Instagram. I like them, namely for like a collection type thing. Okay, yeah, well, I do collect them too. But I also have to say, if you want them finished painting, completely painted, I am a very slow painter, and I never work on one project in one time, so it can take quite a while before I finish these. These have been in my collection, I guess more than 10 years, and just started repainting them as they were. I have started them 10 years ago and never finished them, so that's another thing. But you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter. There should be, I don't know if I don't have a standard command for it. There is a timer. You're proud of me. Thank you. Well, sometimes I'm also proud of myself. No, I have a really broad interest in all kinds of painting stuff, and unlucky for me and for people who want to buy minis completely painted, I get distracted really easily. There was a different second one that I wanted painted with red. Oh, let's take this one. Be proud of yourself all the time. You come along. That. I've come a long way. I've only painted for 30 years. So. And instead of only Twitter and Instagram, I also have a Discord. I don't know. I could look it up, but there is a timer that should show up soon, where all those where that information is going. No, I don't have it on my. Yes, wait. I have it down there. So you can certainly reach out. I am also not a commission painter. I do sometimes paint on commission, but that is mainly more for friends. Because, I have done some paintwork in the past. And I have always a little bit of a problem when people tell me I wanted specifically that color, I want that color, and if I cannot find myself in those color choices, then I am also not very happy with painting the minis. So that's why I never say I am I'm a commission painter. I'm just a mini painter. I am thinking of starting on coffee. You can find me there too, somewhere. To maybe start a coffee shop on there, and just if I have finished some minis, and well, I do have finished minis, of course. And that I have something like, they are a little bit in the way. to maybe sell them. So there is certainly a possibility, also is certainly in the future, to that people will be able to buy my minis. But that's a little bit in the future, as I have to figure out how the whole coffee thing works. I should say coffee. Mainly because I do know it's possible. And well, just putting a price there is also it's also not very difficult. The only thing is postage. I also want to make sure that when people buy things there, that they get the right postage. You know what? Let's go crazy and use more of a orange yellow for this one. This is cold coffee and I don't like cold coffee. Let's go to my thermos. That's my second hobby, drinking coffee. No, let's go for a green, not too dark. Oh, you know, let's brilliant green. And if anybody is working on something, I am always interested to hear about it. My chat is link friendly, so if you want to show something, no problem, as long as it is decent. It doesn't need to be family friendly, as this channel is not designated as family friendly. But well, I guess you know the things that I don't want to see I can find on other sites. Whoops, okay. This is the green. And he has some kind of didn't notice that before. That he has some kind of fur over his coat, or a coat, yeah, robe, whatever it is. And the wild Speedpaw has appeared. Nice. I don't have time to play Pokemon this time. Oh well, I do have time, but I'm not taking it. And the Speedpaw did already escape. Nice. No, that looks more like some kind of fur too. That means that the green is finished with this one. Oh, I want to have purple, and I have a nice wolfsbane purple for that. And what other color do we have? We have green, blue, red. We have a yellow, but I don't like that. I don't like yellow. Well, I do like the color yellow, but we can use. Oh, that's better. What is this? The oxide yellow, or we can make it maybe gold orange. Still thinking about it. So that is the green and the blue. Now the purple. That is not for this one. Whoa! But I do have to use a brown for this. Not a too dark brown. Oh, there we have it. Oxide brown. A little bit reddish, red, colorish brown. Oh, I still have a little bit of the red left. That dark red, always nice for a blood dragon vampire with a cape. I'm even thinking of to do his whole armor maybe in a red color. But for now, let's start with its cape. As the cape is made out of fabric. Oh, am I really dash that? Let's go a little bit like there we are. That is more centered. I have a command for that. Next time I am out of focus.
Focus. Concentrate.
Yeah. You are free to use it when I am out of focus, so don't abuse. It's normally not good to say that in chat. As I said, I will use a red for this armor. Does he have more cloth? No, this one is completely covered in armor, so that's good. Oh yeah, I had to push it down a little bit better, but it's fitting again. But I have to think about the kind of red that I'm going to use. This was this deep red? Yeah, it was deep red for that. And what about you? You are, let's see, you are on the nightmare, but you are a blood dragon vampire lord on a winged nightmare. The nightmare, I think I will be. What color am I going to make the dragon, and what color? Now for a nightmare, I think I will go for a purple. Yeah, I think I will even go for a let's try and go acryl for that. The undead, the zombie dragon. Well, a zombie dragon did have a certain color before he died, so I will have to think about that. But I was thinking about this one. Oh, it does have some cloth. This one does also have some cloth. But this is a white, not a blood dragon vampire. So you are not going to get any. Well, you know what? You do have cloth. And let's make that red too. Now, this is what is called batch painting. Normally you do it with rank and file, a lot of rank and file minis, because they do normally have all the same colors, so you can recognize them that they are in one unit, and also if they belong to one certain army. There are always some kind of returning colors to that. but you can also turn it around. Choose a color that you like on one mini and then look if there are other minis that you are painting that need the same color. And well, in this case he does not need the same color, but I am now, because this is a white, I still got the vampire and white a little bit confused. But this is the white, and a nice color for a white is black, just to make it more fun. More of a pun? No, just more pun. But black and red do go very well together. At least I like that combination overall. Also, I can make his whole armor black. And oh no, I already see his hands. I thought they were gloves, but they are not. And he does have more fabric. Oh, that's nice. Because now I see he has bony hands. We are making this also red. That is his cloth. He has the same taste as I, dark, almost burgundy red with black. Oh, that does mean, now he is already primed. Oh, let's use the primer. No, let's do that later. Brain, calm down. His face is completely almost covered with a helmet, so it's very deep. It's already painted, but it's a color I probably do not have anymore, and I wanted to give the hands now the same color, which is a little bit of a problem. If I do the face and hands last, hands will not be a big problem, but the face is. So now I have to switch. That was the red. I'm going to use a little bit brown on that fur. I have one mini left for a color, and I am going for the more darker. This is the marigold yellow. It's almost an orange. That is your color, and I am going to paint your face with North Bone, and that one should be over here, or over here, over here. Yeah. So I did. Which one did I paint purple? None of them. I have only the green and the blue-green, but I did put purple on my palette to paint a palette. Oh yeah, I got distracted again, as always. I was going to paint the purple on this mini. It sounded like something fell in my glass. Ah, probably one of the stones from the base over there. Oh well. This purple, I love the color of it. It's Wolfsbane purple from Reaper. They did put it in the ghoulie bag this year. The one you can buy, that one that you get when you order in October. That is the Scaretober, the Halloween month. and I truly like the color. It's only a little bit on the thin side, so I will need to put a second layer on it. That it is a little bit blotchy, that it's not covering all too well. I don't mind in this case. Oh, he does have remnants of a shirt on his. As you can see, it is not really covering very well. So let that rest a moment, and I will give the wood bin another shake. Put it on its side. Now I'm going to use the, let's shake it again, the North bone. As you can see, it is almost the same color, a little bit lighter than the skeleton bone that I used as primer. And Reaper does have a skeleton bone color. That is this one, only for my choice. It is a little bit too light. Maybe it's because I'm used to the bones color of Games Workshop. I don't know. That one is definitely a little bit darker than that one. So this one will get a complete black armor with red trimming. I think that would look really nice. So this all will be black, and only those I will make red. Now let's keep with the hands also, as we are going to use a brown wash for bones later on. And then we can do the hands and everything immediately too. In this case I am not really concerned about the armor, as that I am going to paint later. So if I even spill a little bit of paint or wash on the armor, that's absolutely no problem. That is a really nice and I always find it a little bit weird that when they use skulls as ornaments on armor or weapons or whatever things, they are always, most of the time, they are painted in ivory colors. But then I think, yeah, one of like this animal skull I can imagine, but do you have human skulls that are this small? No. So, but let's just. So normally I would paint them more like that they are indeed ornaments, but made from metal. So they would be more like silver or a very light metal color. But okay, no, yeah, let's keep this one standard. And also these are quite old minis that in the times that, well, these are really vampire count. No, wait. The riders, the knights, those are really vampire count minis. This one, this is a 90s undead model. I don't believe that they already... Oh, I should get into the lore a little bit, in the history of Warhammer, when they changed from the undead and made the two different armies of Camry and the vampire counts. When they did that, my brain tells me it was about 2000. Around 2000, but I do not trust my memory very good at that. I should Google that later, not now, but later I will forget, yeah, definitely. And tomorrow at work, suddenly I will remember, oh yes, I wanted to Google this and I wanted to Google that. I'll have to remember when I get home. And then I get home and yeah. Oh well. I am sure there will be a time that I will remember. Maybe next time when I am going to paint this mini. As I just said, yeah, I am not a very steady. I am getting a little bit back into my painting habit, so every day a little bit, but I am quite chaotic about choosing when to paint what. When I was also playing with the minis, the war games and stuff, I had always quite a good discipline about, yes, I have to paint them for next week or over 2 weeks, so I have to paint this. That was all batch painting and hurry most of the time. So there was a little bit like a good, well, there was the goal is a little bit different. Let's say it like that. Then it was, I have a deadline and then I have to paint all of these minis. That's probably why I do like the monthly challenges. Oh, right. Chaotic mind? No. My winged hippo is finished, so I have to post that on the Discord. Those are all the... Let's see, did I hit everything with the North Bone? As far as I can see, yes, and yes, that's good. Maybe a little bit more, because this is the last little bit of the bleached, the North Bone. Oh, I did forget a fingernail over there. Good. The purple is probably already dried. Yes. Let's give it a good shake again. Don't put stuff in your mouth. But I'm hungry. I'm always hungry. shake this one up. Put a little bit on the palette. And let's give it another coat. Still quite thin. But as it is the second coat, it does cover a little bit better. And that's good. Also the second shake, probably, maybe the first shake was not well enough. And then I have to paint one piece of cloth. That is that. And now I have one mini for the orangey yellow. Oh, it's already coming out. Nice. See how well this will cover. I do know this is not a very thin paint, not as thin as the purple I just had. That covers nicely. If you want to paint a very bright yellow, then I of course had to use white first. The bones color is quite white, but not as white as it could be. So if you really want a really nice bright yellow, first paint it white. Oops. Especially this one was already, was this one completely painted? Yeah, this one was completely painted. So the color underneath the bone color is not black. But I can still see a little shimmering of red in the plume, which is bothering me now, because I wanted to make the plume also yellow. But if the red is going, you know what? I have still a little bit of the very light gray. Let's use that instead of the white, as I do not want it to be, it does not need to be that bright, but just enough to cover the red undertone. Because my goal right now is at least get all the cloth painted. Oh, and I have to paint and paint the wood parts also. Oh, and I have one mini to paint that is still having some fur on his armor. Well, this is, I will also put a second coat on the clothes. The one with the green clothes, that one needs a little bit of brown. Yes. For the furry parts, let's do that one first. Now we can hit everything behind the shield with brown, doesn't matter. So we have a nice shadow there. Then all of his upper legs and a little bit over the under the shield is peeking out. Whoops, the other side. Almost did drop my brush again. Why am I such a... butter-fingered painter? I believe the American or English expression is... What was it? A pen sage. Oh, okay. Sounds interesting. Pokemon called Pen Sage. Mainly because of the Sage part. I'm a D&D player. So sages, interesting. I see some interesting details already. He does have some kind of a collar under his armor peeking out. This is, and I don't think that is part of his armor. It looks more like a yeah, some kind of a collar that is that they had in the, what was it, 17th century. It looks a little bit like that. I'll just make it gray, and then we can use the brown wash to filthy it up. And he has also a big chain, what looks like with gold coins on it around his neck. The horn can also be made out of bone. The horse is made out of bone. What time is it? Oh, nice. We go for the yellow again, the marigold yellow. I can immediately see it's the second layer was necessary and looks good. There were still some parts that did where the original color was shining through. Now it's nicely covered. Again, I am not bothering with the metal armor. Oh, there was a mighty lancer. Hello. Sorry, did I? Oh, I hope I didn't miss you all the time. I did see quite some. Hey, welcome, welcome. Because you have on my screen you have the same color as the Pokemon community game. You're in red. But how is minis are looking great. Thank you very much. Yeah, red as well. Yeah. But now I know, so I will watch it a little bit more closely. Yeah, this is my chaotic mind working. I have still some projects to finish. But somehow I had something like, let's paint this old school undead. As yesterday, just before my stream, I decided that it would be nice to show the younger people how you to prep and prepare metal minis. And yeah, well, I did find my very old box of undead champions and heroes. Well, these are not even the oldest ones, because the really old ones are these, together with their animals. This is a winged nightmare. I thought I had lost it, but no, it was right in between all my dragons. And yes, it is the old metal one. I have also, that was a vampire lord on yeah, it's my first love into Warhammer, so got to love the undead and the old metal zombie dragon with white. And I even found, although it is not complete, I even found, I believe they called it also a corpse card, the really old metal one. And there should be a pile of bones on top of there, but yeah, those are a little bit missing. So, oh, and I see very important mishap. Oh, okay. I should have made those skulls also the same bones color, but I still need to do the wood on these minis. So much to do. Thank you very much. Excellent. Yeah. Well, I do my best as always. Oh, and I am guessing it is Mrs. Mighty Lancer or Mrs. Yeah, Mrs. Anyway, my winged hippopotamus, it is finished. Yes, Mrs. Emma. Hey, hello. Yeah. Thank you very much. I will take a picture and some pictures, and I will post it on the Discord just in time. Thank you very much. I am a little bit proud of myself. Never painted a hippopotamus, and I had to search Google to even. I mean, you have an image of your mind. Hey, that's how a hippopotamus look. And if you start painting, yeah, what colors are those? So it was really nice to do. Thank you very much. Yes, I am quite proud of it. Also that I did it within a month. I've been slacking a little bit here and there. Slacking, it's yeah. Yeah, you have your off days and your off and your yeah. Chaos brain. Yeah, it's have been a few slow months, but I'm slowly getting into it. Which means I was going to paint all kinds of wood. All the wood parts, and after that I can go back to my wash. So the wood, I will use the iron oxide, or should I use the, you know what, let's try something different. Old knees. I have some new paints, so let's get this one also immediately. I do not even know why I wanted to grab that one. Oh, the purples. The faded plum, and I do need the bright warm gray. As these are my new Pro Acryl paints. Nice way to try them out in a moment. First, I am going to paint all the wood parts with Pro Acryl Mahogany. Hey, that sounds a little bit like a good color for wood. It's a nice dark brown. So the only thing that I am now concerned about maybe it's a little bit too dark. Meaning, if I use the brown wash from Games Workshop, the Agrax shade, maybe it does not give enough contrast. But if I don't try, you never will know. And are you working on something, Mrs. MLG? Right now, or just relaxing, or maybe even just lurking and working? You're keeping me company while I work. Yeah, I exactly know how that is. Lurking and working, yeah. My parents did have a small restaurant for 30 years, and they only had 1 day a week off, and they always got the same question: oh, what are you doing on that day off? Are you going, what are you doing? Are you going there? Are you going there? No, we are doing the laundry, we are repairing stuff, we are painting what it needs painting, we do inventory, but that's all work. Yeah, that's all work. If you have an own business, your work is never done. I know it. But the big plus is you are your own boss. You can do it the way you want and the way you think you need to do it. There's nobody who tells you how to run your own business. So that's the big plus. At least that is what my parents always told me. To be honest, I am now in doubt. Why am I painting the whole downside of the card? Because nobody is going to see it anyway, but okay, let's just do it. Oh, now we have paint in my ferrule. I should not have been using my more expensive brush for that rough work. Indeed, is this mahogany, indeed it is a great color for wood. I can immediately see that it is indeed mahogany. Really like it. And I have already noticed the paint from Pro Acryl. It's a little bit in between oh my god, my brain stops working. Help, help, help! It's in between the Reaper paints and Games Workshop paint. Games Workshop paint you always need to add a little bit of thinner. The Reaper paints are that thin that you can use them immediately. This is you can use this one immediately, but somehow it's, as far as I am now using it, it's a little bit thicker. You use mainly Reaper. Understandable. I do like them. I mean, I have quite a collection over here. The only thing that I like more about the scale color paints is that they are much more matte I like the really matte finish of the scale color paints. But on the other hand, these minis I am painting mainly with Reaper paints. Let's see, get all in the nooks and crannies. Because I want to finish, I probably will not really finish them very quickly, but with scale color, they are really meant to use for a lot of different details, and there are a little bit more the more pro version, and I like them to use them more for busts and the really big models. So normally the dragon and the winged nightmare I would use scale color for it, but I am using the Pro Acryl. Just try them out, and so far so good. When this is dry, I will try, because it is a dark, very dark brown color. I will see if the brown wash is even doing something on it. Otherwise I will have to use a black wash. Now I have changed my mind. I am going to make them red, those tassels under the, what is that? Brilliant red. Brilliant red from Reaper, and now I have a burnt red. It's more the deep red. Only deep red from Reaper is more of a is going more like purplish, and this is really still a red. I'm always a sucker for. Oh, and a wild Gyarados has appeared. Oh my god! Make the names more complicated, please. I can still pronounce them. Oops. And I start to understand why people don't like those twist and turn bottle caps from Pro Acryl. Because if you take some drops out and you turn it and close it immediately, you push more paint out. You have to be a little bit more careful and a little more. I had a word in my mind. Oh my god. More patient, right? Now this is definitely a red. Instead of the what I just said, the deep red. Oh, by the way, that was not deep red that I used. No, I did not use the deep. Am I now completely? It was the deep red from Reaper that I was using. Which has a little bit of a purple undertone. More, yeah, no, it's more the. No, it's burgundy. A nice, full, rich wine color. And that somehow I always think that if you paint tassels on things like this, they should be red. Why? I don't know. Just like it. And now I will. Yeah, that's dry enough already. And it already looks, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it already looks really like wood. It's not a complete even coat that I did put on, but that makes it more living. It makes it already looking like wood. I like it. So let's see if we put, if the wash does not help. Oh yeah, those are the stones that were falling off the... The stones did not fall in my glass. They fell in my little well palette over here. That's why that was a little thing. Yeah, it is indeed a nice color. Now let's see if I use the wash. Well, of course it does make it a little bit darker, that's no problem. But I want to see if all the details are coming out better. Because that is the whole purpose of the wash. I will do this surface first. Just to see. Oh yeah. Let's give it a little close up. Oh, you can perfectly see the wood grain. On camera not so much, probably because it is also still wet. But I can see it right here. Well, I guess it's a really good combination. So we are going to use this brown. I'm afraid I have just found a really new brown that I love. You could say this is maybe a little bit of a wrong color for undead. Looks a little bit too dark, but if I am going to dry brush it later, and instead of only using a lighter brown, I am doing a final highlight, final dry brush with gray. And if you Google or look at old wood, you will always see old wood has always some gray in it. So it will be turned into looking old. There is one spear done. Next spear, or lance I should say. Oh, yes. I just noticed that the tassels on the spear in fact are a little bit weird like this. He's really charging towards his enemy. As normally the tassels would hang down if you would not let your horse run very fast. But so in fact he should have, this arm was more made for holding the spear or lance upright. Oh, he is charging into the enemies. That's why the tassel is not hanging down. Oh, and I see some spots that I forget to put his plume, where the white is showing, oh sorry, the gray that I used as a base color. Let's change that immediately. That is, yeah, if I do these tassels, then if everything is yellow tassel and cloth wise, then of course these have to be yellow too. At least that is what I think. But first, make sure we have a nice bright base color. So we have to go back on this mini with the white. What time is it? Oh, still half an hour. That's good. This has no wood on it. That's good. Keep it that way. This one does have a little bit of, yeah, in fact, I would say the whole thing is made of wood, only the bits, those, oh come on, those have a name. I will have to paint those a metal color later. The spikes. This color is, as I just said, it is a little bit too dark maybe for how I vision my undead, as they should be a little bit more bleached and old, and but being this dark does give also a little bit of the darkness of the army. Makes it all a little bit darker, nice. Oh, no, with free hands. As I do not want to, normally I seek some support on the mini itself. But this mini, the horse is made out of plastic. And the rest is all metal. And it's only bearing the whole load with his hind feet. So I do not want to push it too much. This one does have a nice lance. Now there is some metal on it. Has been reinforced with a metal strip. I'll just paint over it. As I already said, the metal parts I will be painting later. I'm not really concerned about them right now. And as always, I try to get in all those strange corners where nobody will look if it is painted, except me, of course. There we go. That is the, let's get a little bit in there. That's another one done, at least for what the wood part. Oh, that one we need to paint in a moment. This one has a little bit of a different style. And the other ones do already have wood grain sculpted in them. As they are a little bit bigger, a little bit tougher. This is the captain of the group. That's why he has a back banner. It was one of the loose parts that I found in the box, where I had all these minis in for quite some time. So probably it's a back banner from something else. I'm pretty sure, don't know what it was or where it belonged, but hey, or was it even a staff? No, it is some kind of a banner for some vehicle. Maybe. Oh, I do now see. Where is my primer? I did prime the back side, but not the front. This side, the back. It's not back side, back. Whatever. Oh, I thought I. So let's get some primer on there. Also, so we can get the right color for the skull. That is this mini. There will be quite some metal and rust going on later. The wash, I am going to use the blue Acrox Earth shade on the whole mini. So that I will not be doing the rust and metal, not this stream, maybe even not on the other stream. I will, because next now Saturday, I am streaming and I will be working on Nagash. I still need to finish him, as my community also already has decided on a new challenge for me to paint. I officially still have, hey Papa Pariah, hello, welcome. I was so busy talking, thinking and painting, didn't see you come in. Sorry for that. Now the tassels I will also paint later. And we have still a few mummies that hold quite big club thingies, which means those are made of partially out of wood. Although, no, I do think that I don't have to do this first. These already did have a wash. So I am maybe not going to use Acrox Earthshade on these. And just let the mahogany stay as is. Tomorrow morning there will be no stream. unfortunately. Sorry. I have already said that a few times, but just in case people are here that did not get the message, did not hear it. Tomorrow, my best friend, and he has in his garage a little wargaming club and paint club. So I am joining there. It's the last Friday of the month. So tomorrow no stream. Saturday I'm back with painting Nagash. I am going to try to paint Nagash. I'm not sure, as I also have to work Saturday. I have no idea what time I will be finished and what kind of work I have to do. But we will see. I do have a backup if I don't feel like painting Nagash. I have a nice backup in these guys. Is that all painted? That is all painted. This one I should let... This one needs to dry first a little bit, but the rest is all done. Which means, and let's see the card. Take a look. Yeah, the wash has taken it perfectly. I can see now darker lines between the planks. Nice. That means I can use my... Oh, I need to get... I used it for two different things. Let's get the bone primer out there. Otherwise you get a really strange wash. Argalax Earthshade. Quite a bit. I do use the small brush first for these guys, as these have I did forget to paint, give these a wash earlier, but that's good because now I have painted the tassels around under them. The yoke I made, I probably will make of metal, so that I don't have to put anything on there. For the other minis, I will use a bigger brush. Let's see, you go back to where you belong, and a bigger brush, also an older brush. Yep. This is a really nice old brush, ideal for, what is this? Ideal for this kind of work. Still not minding the whole armor, but making sure that I do reach all the bone parts, the wood parts, the clothing. And even if this is all dry and I would use the same colors for dry brushing, because the base color is different, all those parts will look different too. The only thing is, of course, pooling, watch out for that. And immediately you have a really nice, dark, grim looking skeleton. The zombies I can leave. This one I just painted, so put it aside. Let's go for all these guys. Those tassels I will paint later. This is, I know I can at least finish the whole washing of the models so they can dry the whole night. Let's get the armor. I don't need to wash yet. I will give it a wash later when I do all the metal parts. The clothing, because of the brown, it will look stained. The bones will get their nice shading. Oh, this is going to take quite some wash, but better leave the cap off, because I still have quite some minis to do. The whole horse. Let's make sure we put a finger under it so it does not bounce so much. Otherwise there is a little chance that the legs will break, because they are just made out of plastic with a lot of metal on top. Even everything out of the colors of the wash so you don't get pooling, but that's a well-known thing, but I keep repeating it. Oh, over there. Make sure you hit every piece of the mini that you want the... Oh. Did I put this one together? No, I did put on the arm, but I did not put on the sword, and I see that the previous owner has missed the point where the sword should be. Okay, no problem. That is one done. Up to the next one. Let's get that over here. The little bit of face that is showing. I don't have to do the tip of the spear. Let's do the inside of the chest, of the ribs from the horse, so they get a nice shading. I am already, oh, that's maybe a good idea to also add some wash between the shield and the mini itself already, so you get also I get a little bit of shading in there, as I will not be able to paint behind the shield. In this case I do get at least a little bit of a shade behind it. And that was already all the wash I had on my palette. A little bit more. Get it in all the nooks and crannies of those bones. This is also the nice thing about if you are batch painting. If you are doing like 10 of these, by the time you have washed the last mini, the first one is almost dry, so you do not have to really wait a long time. What we said behind the shield, let's get some wash in there too. would look a little bit weird if the inside of the horse was lighter than the outside. So get a little bit in the chest cavity again. And the whole wood of the lance. All the bone and clothing, because that is where we surely want it. And this is the washes of Games Workshop. It's still amazing products to me. I mean, I do have the washes from Reaper. I like them, but they are still not as transparent as the Games Workshop's one. So, for mini painting, I certainly will always be using the Games Workshop washes. And I'm certain the Reaper ones you can certainly use. They are great, but you have to use them a little bit differently than the Games Workshop ones. These are really designed for speed painting, and the Reaper ones for the nicer final touches. They have more, how should I say it? They are more for the more delicate work. You have to learn to work with them, as they do work a bit different. And yeah, the Games Workshop hobbyists are mainly to paint as much minis as you can in a short possible time. So no special techniques that you need to use or learn with washes. Just slap it on and you're done with washing. After that, you still have to do highlights, and you can do layers beforehand. And if you cover them up with the wash, you still have already a nice highlight. But especially with the light bone color for undead, I still prefer base color, wash, and then the highlights. Mainly dry brush. Oh, don't forget the face. And he has still a shoulder peeking out over here. Right. Now the musician. No helmet, as then you cannot blow your horn. But he cannot blow his horn, he has no lungs. Yeah, I know. But still, he has a horn, so he has to blow it somehow, somewhere. That's one of the weird things that no lungs, it's magic. Yeah, it must be, because I have no idea who he will get some tone out of that thing without lungs. I mean, if it was a zombie, okay, yeah, I can get it, but over there, I did lose my little dropper bottle of Aglax Earthshade. Found it, good. Now we have decided to make the trumpet. Oh, horn. Also bone color. Now I think of it, maybe that's why they put a skull on top of it. Because he's not even blowing. It's just the horn that is making the sound itself. Maybe. I do not even know, do skeletons make sounds? I mean, talking sounds? Oh, whites can, I believe. But normal skeletons? But that's a D&D problem, not a Warhammer problem. And that is all. Oh no, I still have the last one. Good, as I still have some wash left. Oh, this one is really. Oh, this one is really. He's almost. He's not galloping. He's quite hurt, I guess. He's completely sagging through his legs. Damn, horsey. And as always, not enough wash. He has a wobble on, yeah, certainly. Well, most of them have. Half of them at least. That's the problem when you have to make the minis out of metal. But you put them on very thin-legged plastic horses. Oh no, I guess this one is just so well trained. He is just being nice to his rider. So you don't have to bow down to stab your opponent. I will bow down for you. Or something like that. Oh, don't forget the whole plume that we just painted yellow. And the lance has to make his wash. Has to get his wash. And don't forget all the clothes. They need to look nasty. Oh yeah, I'm glad I was thinking about using a very bright yellow, as the wash will make the yellow, of course, quite darker. But I'm glad I did go for the more orange yellow. What was it? Again, where are you? Where are you, yellow? Over here. The marigold yellow. Because if you use a too light color, like a very light yellow, then it will, to me, would not have the same as yeah, I cannot explain it, but when it is a too bright yellow and you put a brown wash over it, it doesn't look filthy correctly. This one has a nice, it's still yellow, but you can see it's dirty. And that's what I wanted. So those are 6 riders, 2 mummies and a skeleton. And and sadly enough, I will not be painting any of the big monsters, nor their riders, as it is 9 o'clock. And tomorrow morning I have to get up at 4, because it's Friday and I have to work. So, with that, I will thank you all for joining me, for chatting. And you take care too. Have a great day, a great night. And don't work too much. Take your rest. And yeah, good night. See you all next time. Thank you. Bye.
I'll be back.